Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. Welcome to my YouTube channel or live on Facebook in Athena's Creations. Tonight, I've got some new magic for you. It's heat embossing using embossing folders and just a few supplies. I'm going to also share with you a fun fold, two fun folds that we've done before, using some retired product and some current product, just to kind of give you an idea of some embossing on an embossing folder and the magic that happens when you use the embossing buddy and you use the embossing heat gun and all the things. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll go ahead and put the camera down and share all of the tips and tricks with you. Give me just one moment so I can get this squared away on our project here. There is nothing that says Christmas and holiday spirit to me more than heat embossing. And we've got coming up next Saturday, the end of this month, is going to be our Christmas in July workshop. So if you want to join us, just give me a message. Let me know. We've got 4 people coming, and there's a couple that I'm waiting to hear back from. Let's see here. Just get this over. Try to get this all close together. Okay. So we've got our heat gun, and we just need a couple of tools. And let me just show you really quickly. If you don't already own one of these, I would encourage you to get the Embossing Additions Toolkit. It comes with the Embossing Buddy Powder Pal, and it comes with this tray that you can see I'm using gold for our embossing tonight. And it also comes with these little tweezers, which we're going to use tonight. It also comes with this tiny little brush, which is something I'll share with you as we do the heat embossing for our sentiment. And then you'll need the heat gun, and I'm using not particularly this one because I have some embossing powder from before. You know, when you purchase your embossing powders, I think I'm half out of this one actually. These will last a long, long time. So you just need to buy these once. You're going to have your heat embossing for several years. I don't know that there's an expire date. I'm using some embossing powder that I've had for a while that's Stampin' Up. So they definitely will last you a while. And tonight, this one is the new Swirls of Magic embossing folder. And it's one of the big embossing folders. And when these were introduced, I think about a year ago now, I got the first one a year or so ago, and I thought, what in the world? How come it's so big? But I'm going to show you why I'm glad we have this one this big. As you can see, you can get a half a sheet, an 8.5, although I cut mine down to 8, and I'll show you why in a minute. By 6. So this will fit your big embossing cut emboss machine. And I'm going to cut mine paper down to 5.5. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I cut down a piece of red cardstock. I cut it down to 8 inches because your cardstock is 8.5 by 11. Then I turned and cut it at 5.5. That way this entire sheet would fit. And again, that measurement is 5.5 by 8. So I only trimmed off the tiniest little piece, right? And then I ran it through the machine. And then when you cut it in half, because it's 8 inches, you're going to get a card front. And this is the card that I put together because I just had this idea. Let's do something fun with heat embossing. And this is what I came up with. Now, I'm using some sentiments because, like I said, I've been really working studiously, getting prepared for our Christmas in July. And our new catalog debuts in September. So I just got out my poinsettia petals. The May Magic and Wonder bloomed this holiday. And I'm using that sentiment. Many of you probably have this beautiful stamp set bundle from years before. And that's something too, I'm kind of wondering, I should start writing down the year that I get my stamps, because I go back and look and what year was that? I can never remember. And then some beautiful ribbon that I don't remember if this is still available. Real red and burlap ribbon combo. And then these fun little, these were from last year, traditional sparkling sequins. But as you can tell, you're not going to use all of your embellishments on all your cards unless you just do one design. But I have stacks of embellishments. So I just get out whatever's going to coordinate. And I thought this would look really nice. Maybe it's too much gold. I don't know. But we're also going to do something a little different with this card, because we're also using embossing folders, brand new. Oh, this embossing folder is going to be available, or is it available already? I think it's already available. I can't keep up with all the fun new releases every month. I think it's the online exclusive that's current. The Seasonal Cheer mini embossing folders. This one has 3. So it's got the leaves, it's got the candy canes, and it's got, I don't know if you can see it, the little bats. So you get 3 of these. So it's 3 different seasons that you get, which is really fun. So we're going to use this one. And it's several techniques tonight. But let's do this one first, and then we'll make this fun fold card, because this is the magic, right? And I just thought that sentiment was just appropriate. May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. So fun. Lots of fun putting this together and creating this card. It's a simple card. You score it at 2.5 and 4 1/4, and then you cut it at 5 1/2, and you've got this fun fold. And what I have, when I get going here, I like to get my, let me show you. I get a clipboard, and then I use our silicone mat, because this one, to me, it just holds everything in place when I'm heat embossing, and it doesn't get all over the place. The glass can get really, really hot. You can burn yourself, so just be aware of that. You can always just put this on there. I just, like I said, I clip it, and then with that toolkit, we can use this, and it clips and holds it together, which is what I'm going to use tonight. Now I've got the sentiment ready, but I'm just going to, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead, trying to get ahead of myself here. And I just want to use the embossing buddy, because sometimes when you're touching something, even though your hands are clean, there might be some residual oils, or your breath. There's particles in the air. Maybe it's a moist environment, like in the South, it's been raining, so it's pretty moist. So your embossing buddy is going to be the key, excuse me, to making sure that you only have your gold sticking to the Versamark and not anything else. And so just kind of rub it over there. And it kind of looks like it's a powder. That's fine. Next, I'm going to bring in your Versamark, which is a clear ink. And for the card that I made, this one, I really went to town with the Versamark. I think I'm going to do it just slightly different, just to see what it looks like, because I think that's kind of fun. Kind of box it in a little bit and leave more of a red border, I think. So you're just going to take your Versamark, and you're just going to bring it and just dab it on top. No right or wrong. Now I see some in there. I might need to re-ink this one a little bit. Okay, there's a blot there. You can kind of see it shine. Okay, so next I'm going to bring in the gold. And I've got some on this tray already. You can kind of see where I'm going with all of this, but you're going to just dabble that on there. You could use white embossing powder. Kind of gets everywhere, doesn't it? Then I just tap the back, okay? So we have more of a border. All right. So next, it's really easy. I'm going to heat emboss it, and when I heat emboss it and turn the machine on, it's going to be loud and you won't be able to hear me. So I'll just tell you really quickly. I will hold it over it, and then I'm going to try to hold this up so you can see it as I'm heat embossing it. It will start to glisten, and then I can move it over some more. And I'm tempted to try something else here in a minute, so we'll just see. Here we go. You can see it start to glisten. That's the magic of the embossing. It glistens as I move the heat across. Isn't that beautiful? I just love the gold. I think I like my first sample better. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So next we're going to do our sentiment, or I actually have one that's already ready. So we'll use that one. But on the leaf, I'm going to try something just a little different and see how that turns out. Okay, so here's our card base. Fold it in half. You basically, after you folded your card in half, your card base in half, then you kind of fold it back onto itself. This one is going to layer right on the top. Oh, and I forgot to trim this one. So let me just trim that one real quick. I think I mentioned that and I forgot to check the measurements here. So it was 8, so I cut it in half, so that's 4. And then we'll cut at 5 1/4, because I cut it 5 1/2 earlier, so we'll cut it down to 5 1/4. So we've got us a card front. Real simple measurements, lots of fun. Then I'm just going to layer this right on the top, find that sweet spot. I'm going to hold down the bottom, and I'm going to lift up this piece and just apply adhesive to the left side. And then I'm going to get some, you can see I reused it. I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. You could use white ribbon if you want. That would look really pretty. May the magic and wonder bloom this holiday. And then I'm just going to make 2 rabbit ears to tie my bow. Guess we're doing a Christmas and an autumn card. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do this one for next Saturday. What do y'all think? It's nothing, like I said, says Christmas more like than heat embossing. And I have lots of different beautiful ribbons. And as a demonstrator, I got to see the catalog. Oh, my stars. There's some beautiful, beautiful new things coming. I'm very excited. Very, very, very excited about it. All right. And so I thought, okay, this red would look really, really pretty. But then let's go, yeah, let's stay with the red. That's really, really pretty. So that's the difference, and you can use different die cuts or any of the punches that you have. I think this one, I think that's one of the die cuts. Really, really fun. Really easy too to make. So I don't know, do you like this one that's kind of all over, or do you like where it's just where you have this nice red border? I don't know. But that was my first thought with the embossing, Swirls of Magic embossing folder. That's what I came up with. Now let's do some stamping with this one. We're gonna do a little technique here. I don't know that I like that one per se, but it kind of matches this new designer paper. I was trying to think, what am I doing? Oh yeah. All right. We'll just put all of these together. Oh, this is for me to stamp and punch, but I already have it ready. I forgot. Sometimes I have extra paper and I don't know why. I think that was the case. And so this one has a card template. That's something that Jackie Boheis, another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I came across her channel one day, and it was just a whole new world to me when she talked about having a card sample that you would use with all the measurements, and that way, I mean, the creativity is endless ideas, right? And so this is the card, this card base is 7 1/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 3 inches. Then this piece here is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 1. Then our designer paper on this side, or sometimes you can do the embossing, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And now if you need a white or another card in the front here, or in the inside, it's 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside piece. So that's the card template. I've got several of those, and boy, I sure am glad I came across her page, because this has been a game changer for me. So in terms of my creativity and just, I don't know, some of these fun folds are my favorite. This is probably one of them. This is one of my favorites. All right. So what we want to do is we want to put the card base together first, okay? That's something I learned by trial and error once before. And then you're just going to add adhesive right there. And I try to find as close to the center as possible. And then we're going to put our inside piece down. Hold down one side, lift up, and add your adhesive. Okay. And this is the new Simply Leaves bundle. And the words, "I'm grateful for you," should be somewhere on my desk. And for some reason, I'm not finding it. I don't know what I do with it. I sort of cleaned, and then I'm like, what did I do with everything? Okay, here it is. "I'm grateful for your kindness." Okay. Okay, yeah, it is clean. All right. Then we're going to put our really pretty designer paper. We're going to kind of line it up with the white piece that's on the inside. This card comes together pretty quickly as well. Now we're going to need for not only for our sentiment, but also our little mini brush and pecan pie. Because if I didn't mention it, that's the card base. And I'm just going to pick up some of that ink, and with the mini brush, I'm going to bring in some color. And I embossed with the little embossing folder ahead of time, just to save a little bit of time. You can put as much or as little as you want. And then using one of my favorite dies of all time is the arch dies. And I do love those arch dies. As a demonstrator, we got to get a sneak peek. I may have started to mention that before and got distracted and didn't finish my train of thought. But we got to see that yesterday. It's been like a little over 24 hours. And oh my stars. There's a new beautiful manger stamp set. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to use the arch dies and come up with something really fantastic. That's my plan anyway. I love, love, love the holiday Christmas catalog. In this one, there's a lot. I mean, a lot available. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this one on here. And like I said, we're going to do something a little different than the original. So I've got this one ready to go. However, I decided before I started this evening to do the same thing, right? Using the same piece, which this measurement for this piece is 4 by 3, okay? And so I embossed it with the leaves, and then I embossed it in gold. Now, let's just try something. Let's see what this leaf is going to look like. We're going to get 2. From that one. All right. That's this fun set of product here. So again, gold, you could do white, you could do all kinds of different colors. And I'm curious to see what other colors are going to look good too. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. So I think what I'm going to do is have both of these on here, because I really like that. Let's just add our adhesive directly on there. And that one as well. What do y'all think about this? And I almost think I need a smaller one in the middle, but I think we'll go with that. And then, of course, to polish it off, we're going to use our 2026 and 2028 in color dots. This beautiful golden glow. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think it looks really pretty for the fall colors. You could always use some kind of gold embellishments if you wanted, but I just thought, oh, that's so pretty. So a fun technique. I'm not even sure what it's called, but goodness, it's just so fun. So which one do you like better, the original or the updated version? I kind of like them both, but it definitely looks better when there's two of the leaves. That's what I had for you tonight, was the heat embossing, and let me know which card you like the best. I'm really tempted to do something like this for our Christmas in July camp the last Saturday this month, so let me know what you think. This was fun, and it's super easy. I mean, what, 30 minutes? Very, very easy. Lots of fun. Technique. Drop in the comments if you know what the technique is, because I do not know what it's called. I just thought of this idea, and I had to see what it looked like. And I really have to say I like how it turned out. Lots of fun. So use your imagination, think outside the box, and have fun, because that's what stamping is all about. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy stamping.